Hey guys, this is John at JeepsterMan. Today we're doing a 2-inch lift kit on a 1970 Jeepster Commando. So I went ahead and started on the front, did the one side. So the 67 through 69, the front spring is 1 3/4 inches wide. And on the 70, 71, 72, 73, they're all 2-inch wide on the front spring. So that's what we're doing today. I'll just kind of run through this real quick. I'm not going to go into too much detail, so you can see we have a lift, but you can also do this at home using jack stands. So the first thing, you're going to want to support whatever side you're working on first, which I did. You can take your U-bolts loose, get rid of those U-bolts because you're not going to use them. The new kit comes with those. Then you can take your leaf spring plate off as well. Like I did, I took it loose from the shackle. Now our kit comes with new shocks. I'm not going to replace these shocks on this one because these are newer shocks on this one. And this is 3/4 inch on both sides that you're going to take this loose from. You can see I already took it loose on this side because getting ready to use this side. In the back, same thing for the rear eye, that's 3/4. So you would take this bolt nut out and that bolt nut out on the rear eye. You already have the U-bolts loose. Slide that spring out of there. Reinstall the bolt in the rear. Push it forward, put it into the shackle, the hanger here. And then lower your axle back down onto the spring there. Now these springs, they have a nub that's right here in the middle. You need to make sure that that nub sits in the center. So underneath the axle tube here, we've got the plate. You got to make sure that that centers back into that and locks in place whenever you lower it down in there. And then you'll reinstall your leaf spring plate with the new U-bolts. So all our kits come with new U-bolts because you do not want to reuse the old ones. In the front, 3 of them are the same size, then you'll have one that's wider. This wider one is for this side right here that goes over the axle housing. That's why that's wider. Like I said, new U-bolts on all of that. 2-inch lift kit, you do not need longer brake hoses. 4-inch, yeah, you're gonna need longer brake hoses, and we send those in the kit. So it's basically the gist of the front part of this kit. So I'm gonna finish this up. We'll come back and show you what I did, and then we'll move on to the rear. All right, so we're back here. I got the front reassembled. Shocks are all hooked up. You can see the new U-bolts. Now these U-bolts, the way they come, they're a little bit long, so I trimmed mine off. You don't have to, but I did on this. I've got these leaf springs all bolted back up, and everything in the front is done. On the 2-inch lift, there's no shims or anything for the pinion angle. On the 4-inch lift, there is, but you don't have to do any of that up front. So that's pretty much all you got to do there on the front. So next we'll be back. We're going to do the rear on this. So we'll go over that next. All right, guys, this is John at JeepsterMan. I'm back. Just finished the rear part of the lift kit on this Jeepster Commando, the 2-inch lift. And I'll just talk about this real quick. Like I said, you don't have to have a lift, and you can just do this on jack stands if you need to. Just do one side at a time and just support one side of the axle at a time when you do it. Then you're going to take this bolt nut loose up there on the front eye. All right, and then you're going to take your U-bolts loose. You're going to take your shock loose because it comes with new shocks as well. And then you're going to take the rear shackle loose as well. So once you get it all loose and you support the axle, then you can go ahead. I usually take the front eye bolt out first, and then the leaf spring will swing down, and then it'll just be hanging in the back here. Sometimes these rear shackles can give you a little bit of trouble of getting the old bushings and everything out. If they, like on this one, they were stuck in there. I had to use an air hammer up in the bushings and the bolt to get the old shackle out on this thing. So if you have that problem, use an air hammer, screwdriver, hammer, whatever you can. Sometimes those are kind of hard to get out. The new shackles that come with it, just make sure you don't over torque the shackles. I've seen people over torque those and strip them out. And then the shocks, those are pretty self-explanatory how to install those. You just got a bolt at the top and one at the bottom. That's really it on the rear. On the 2-inch lift kit, you don't need shims. On the 4-inch, you do. If you had shims, shims go in here. And what shims do, shims take this pinion angle here and would move this pinion angle up to match this on the output on the rear of the transfer case. But on a 2-inch lift kit, you don't need them. And on the 4-inch, we send 2-degree shims. And same thing on the front. And then I'll just talk about the front real quick. again and just show you everything, because I got the new shocks and all that on there, as you can see. So it's really not that bad of an install. The worst part is sometimes the bolts get stuck. Sometimes you got to cut U-bolts off. They are a little bit heavy, and then sometimes these rear shackles can be kind of a pain. So, and then everything's heavy. So, but other than that, pretty simple installation. We'll be back here in a second. I'm going to lower this down and pull it outside here so you guys can get a good picture of what this 2-inch lift kit looks like. So you can run, here as you can see, everything's hanging down, so it's not a real good picture. But you can run a 30 or a 31-inch tire. I always tell people they can run a 31-inch tire if they want to. My dad always tells everybody a 30. I kind of prefer a 31, and then you can see up front everything hanging down as well. But we're gonna lower this Jeepster Commando down, and then I'll come back and show it to you.